Hi, you're about 30 minutes away from drinks. I've spent the last year working primarily on a 15-year survey show of the last 15 years of my work. And this also the catalog, which was funded by the Warhol Foundation. This opened last March at the Armory in Pasadena. The curator was the chief curator there, Irene Tatsos. This is the really first comprehensive catalog of my work. It was a series of 6 series, photographs and videos. And there were 15 writers. The main catalog writers were Irene and Charlotte Cotton, and there were also 13 other writers. Shorter essays, and 3 of them are here. Matthias Wegener, Ken Gonzalez-Day, and Julie Lazar. Edge of Twilight is a project I received my Creative Capital grant for, and it's in 2 parts. These are the photographs that I did for the show, and the next part will be a video that I'll talk about in a minute. These are pictures are taken in an all-women's mostly lesbian retirement community, RV community in the southwestern desert. It's a closed community. It took me 2 years to gain trust and work there, and it's difficult too because this is not a typical documentary project. Where my earlier work dealt with the future imaginaries of neoliberalism and global capital, this work looks at the future as a series of multiple possibilities rather than a singular probability. Let's see. Anyway, I used the initial grant from Creative Capital, or the initial funds, to produce these images and also to help with the catalog production. And I believe I said it was funded by the Warhol Foundation, the catalog, and also through Creative Capital last year. I met Todd Bradway from DAP, so the catalog's being distributed there. The next step in this, and I noticed I got booted from visual arts last year to the category of film video this year, is a lesbian time travel video, and which I'm just starting the research for. I'm in that great spot where you can play and discover. After you do a big show, you often think you don't have another idea in your head. No, but anyway, that was a joke, but not funny. Trying to be lighthearted about it. Anyway, you know, I'm using the term, right now I'm conceiving of kind of differing narratives, to take apart narrative, but also to look at the fact that we can't live without narrative. But the reason I'm using the word lesbian specifically, I'm interested in things like how it's in the LGBT, an acronym that's now 11 letters, it's the least uttered. I'm looking at things that are dismissed, also 70s lesbian feminism, which is seen as utterly dismissed. And my interest is my overarching thing is to take time travel and work against the mainstream structure of it. I want to dissolve time. I want to, instead of undo the smash to bits the prime directive of time travel, which is that you never contaminate the timeline. I'm going to contaminate it tremendously. Okay, time's running out. You can show this. This is just a clip. It's not from the video, but this is, you can lower the sound a little bit, just to prove that I have been shooting in this park, because I'm from a long line of peasants. I'm the first, you know, in the new world, so I operate a lot out of guilt. Anyway, I told you this is 1 minute. No, this is time for 5 minutes, Leslie. Anyway, I'm going to start on research, and you can play this too. I'm going to start on research next month. I'm looking at also archives. I'm going to look at the archives of Joanna Russ's and Ursula Le Guin's paper, later Octavia Butler's papers. And to quote, there's a great feminist theory being written now on the architectural archival turn in feminism. And it's a way to look at again, a dissolving of time and looking at archives as something as of the present and existing in the future. Anyway, and we're running out of time, so that's why I'm like, this is actually a third part of this is going to deal with deep space and far futures, and I'm going to go through my own archives. That was Spaceport America, the first outer spaceport built in the world. So I'm going to cull from that, from things I've shot in the South Pole. And anyway, I ran out of time. Thank you for your attention.